Hi, this is Brian from WorkshopAddict.com. My family and I are a bunch of car guys, and we always have a disagreement over how to store vehicles. So I thought I'd make this video for everybody else, just kind of stir the pot, get some controversy going, and we can all share how we store our vehicles. One of the first things I do is change the oil. I know some people believe that they should wait till spring. I'm of the belief, change the oil in the fall, let the clean oil that doesn't have any of the deposits from combustion sit in the engine, clean it out, run it around the block, get the clean oil everywhere, and kind of dilution is the solution to pollution in your engine here. So everything is it's clean throughout your motor. I use that time while it's up on the lift to go through it underneath to make sure nothing's broke, everything's tight, or nothing else needs any maintenance. This year, I was real lucky to find these made in America, actually made in the Upper Peninsula, Michigan, the race ramps. These are ramps that allow for a lower profile car to go on a 4-post lift. And the really cool part about these is that they're made out of polystyrene. And you say, what's polystyrene? Most people know it more commonly as a trademark name of a local company is styrofoam. Which, you say, styrofoam, how does that work? But it's cool, these things are lightweight, as you can see. They'll hold 1,500 pounds apiece, and they're covered with what I would call like a bed liner material. This isn't the typical like white styrofoam or polystyrene that you would find in toys and stuff. This is a much denser product. Works quite well. It allows for us to have a longer ramp. And the nice part about it is once you, they just simply hook in place on the lift, you drive up and you remove them, and then you don't have the ramps hanging in the back. Really enjoy that, and I'm gonna extend and do a video on these by themselves. The same company, Race Ramps, makes these flat stoppers, which are great for these supercar or Goodyear F1 supercar tires or any performance tires, so you don't get flat spots if it's sitting for more than 30 days. One of the bigger things that I've always done on all my vehicles is I pump the tires up to the maximum recommended pressure on the door. That will also help flat spots, but once you get into more performance grade tires, these are almost a necessity, especially if it's going to sit for 3 or 4 months. We'll pull up on those a little bit later. After I'm done changing oil, going through the car, I give it a good wash. And this is something that I started with this year, and I use it every day. This is called a grit guard. It sits in the bottom of your 5-gallon bucket. So when you're washing, I've actually started with the 2-bucket method over with some dark colors, but you have your sponge, and if you have any dirt on your sponge, when you rinse it around in the soapy water, the dirt's heavy, goes to the bottom, and this doesn't allow your sponge to sit in the dirt. Pick it back up and go on the vehicle. Very nice. So we have the car washed, put a couple coats of wax on it. We're ready to put it away. One of the big things that I try to do when I put my car away is not to touch it. I will put it in a spot where it's going to stay. I don't like to start it. Some people think that you should start your car weekly or monthly to help keep the battery charged or to keep things lubricated and keep the springs and the internals of the motors moving. I feel it does more harm than good because of the condensation that you create throughout the engine, especially if you don't get it warmed up all the way, extra wear and tear on the starter, and why sit and let your motor idle for a half hour once a month? Just seems like it doesn't make a lot of sense. So what I do, I use, this is a C-Tech Multi-US 7002 charger. These are like a battery tender, but they're actually a charger that will go through they're called smart chargers. They'll analyze everything. They'll look at where your battery's at. They'll charge if they need to. They'll just let it sit if they need to. They'll pulse a little bit. Much, much more than a tender. I've done a video on my Jeep with these, and I've gone through battery upon battery in my Jeep on tenders. These are great. You can use it as a charger around your house, or you can just put it on the car and let it sit and know that your battery's safe and not getting burned up. So, at this point, we're gonna pull up on the flat stoppers and put the car under the cover, put a battery charger on it, and let it go for the year. So we have the car up on the flat stoppers. Now it's time to hook up our battery charger, throw a cover over this thing, and let it sit for the winter. Some people will, at this point, put some dryer sheets or different type of mouse or rodent resistant stuff inside exhaust pipes, in the interior, in the intake, under the engine. In here, I'm going to rely on other ways of keeping the mice out of this whole area. So I'm not going to do anything like that. Some people will lower the windows a little bit so you don't have the windows constantly pushing up on the seals, and it'll allow some airflow in and out. I'm probably going to do that because I'll have a cover over top of it and I'll be able to keep things out. At this point, let's get the charger going and get ready to get the cover on. This car has the battery in the trunk, which it also doesn't have a key so you can get in the trunk, although you can go through the back seat. It's just a lot easier at this point to hook up a charger. In this case, we have the positive unit sitting up here in a bolt that has a very large cable that goes back directly to the battery. And then we have a supplied ground lug, which again has a ground wire that goes back to the battery in the trunk. So I'm going to make this fairly easy and use their little clamps here. Clamp up to both. I'm going to leave this guy sit here, and rather than getting too intricate, normally I would run this from underneath the bottom of the car and up. I'm going to take a quick shortcut, go right through the grill, and come up here where the with the hood, since the hood won't be closed when we put the car cover on. Again, one of the things I can't say enough about the C-Tech chargers is the way they fit together. Very nice, solid, great connections, nice material that you know will last for a long time. I'm going to tuck that down in. And to bring up the battery. Again, this is the 7002, and it has multiple modes on it. We're going to have it set on the normal mode because we just have a normal battery in here. The nice part about this one is if we were going to change batteries, we could put it to supply mode and allow it to just supply the electronics inside, which would be your stereo, your ECM, anything that's going to need to have some sort of power to keep a memory. You could use that to go through. But basically this is going to go through and analyze our battery and see what's going on, but we're just going to let it sit, close the hood slightly, and put our car cover on. With the cover on, we have our C-Tech battery charger hooked up to make sure our battery's fully charged. We have the flat stoppers underneath to prevent flat spotting. We are set. Oil's changed, tires are pumped up, everything's been checked over, windows are cracked slightly. We're set to let this car sit, hopefully, let's say until April. We hope to get some good temperatures here in Michigan. So this car will not be started. It will not have anything done. Basically, we will lock it up, walk away, act as if it isn't here. Again, everybody has their own comments or their own way of doing things, and I invite you to put your comments in this video and or come over to workshopaddicts.com on our forum and discuss how you store your car. Again, there's a million ways of to do this. Who's right and who's wrong, we'll never know, but this is at least how I do it. Thanks for taking the time to watch. This is Brian from workshopaddicts.com.